I think we can all agree that most people thought that this episode was gonna be huge just because of the introduction that we had in the first part where we saw all those ships flying, all those battles around, and then we saw very slow starts to a new drama that is gonna happen behind the scenes of the series. I really believe in Filoni, so I guarantee that huge stuff coming after this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I think, what are my expectations for the development of the series for the next episode, and what's actually happening in this episode for you to understand how important these episodes are gonna probably be. So just don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave a like, and let's go with the video. Understanding what happened with Mondu and Bo-Katan, that they basically left Mandalore, and one funny thing that she could have mentioned for him that she saw a legendary creature, but she was like, nah, I think I'm crazy. And as they are approaching their home planet, they fight with all of those TIE fighters, and I need to understand how is the budget of this show, because the fighting scenes are actually amazing. They are top notch. They're literally better than all of those prequels fighting scenes that are just not better than the last 3 movies because they have bigger budget, but this show is almost at the level, if not better at some point. So I'm so happy to see this. We saw those fighting scenes. Also the movement when Djarin jumped out of the ship, I thought it was like he's gonna intercept one of those TIE fighters midair. No, he actually jumped to where his ship was and used it so they could have 2 ships fighting against. As they finished all of them, they came off the whole army and just destroyed her castle, and they have to leave the planet. What's my theory? They went to Mandalorian, okay, and probably they shouldn't have done it, because I think the whole drama and the whole myth of Mandalorian being cursed or anything is just a myth, so they can keep people away, so that people who spread those lies, they can stay there and, you know, get Beskar, exploit the planet, or get other materials that they want without anyone being there or having a secret base or anyone bothering them. So they just use that. Not only that, the atmosphere is damaged by the bombs that they all launched years ago, so it is almost like a closed planet for communication, and then leaving there just saw the opportunity of killing them, so they're not spreading information that the planet is actually safe. So they went to the planets where most of the refugees of the Mandalorians are, and they proved that they were bathed in the living waters. So Bo-Katan actually got redeemed as a Mandalorian because she saved him, so she bathed as well in the waters, because we see her behavior actually shifting also after what happened when she saw that legend, that monster that inspired Mandalorian, and where she saw those creatures, her belief was tested. She was like, maybe I was thinking wrong. So you can see that she is, without thinking, she didn't even got her helmet off. She was in her mind respecting more the culture of Mandalorians, because she took off her helmet every time that she was piloting, and now she doesn't. And now she's respecting them more a little bit, and now she's part of the Mandalorian army. So that is actually huge, and probably it's pointing to a final battle where they all face some Empire remainings. So let's talk about what happened in most of the episode, which was those 2 characters, which is Dr. Pan and Elia. Him being a doctor who specialized in cloning, which takes the Camino guys, you know, remember the guy who did the clone for the Clone Wars? He did like any DNA mixture for them to cure diseases easily using organ printing, something like this. And you might remember him from Mandalorian season 1 and 2, where he was working with Moff Gideon. In the first season, he was working with that Empire guy who contracted Djarin to kill Grogu. He was captured, of course, and now instead of being arrested, he's now being part of the almost like resocialization program that the New Republic has, which they need to be interviewed like almost every day and understand their behavior, understand if they are changing. So he's now working in a facility. There's more like a strange bureau, like I don't understand. And because of the new policies that the New Republic has, his research is almost useless for them, because they do not have interest in that, because their morality with cloning is different that the Empire had, of course. Even the Old Republic didn't have that, of course, because the Clone Wars happened, but I think they understood what they made wrong, so they had a social revolution after that and after the Empire. And then he begins to meet some other people who worked also for the Empire or worked with some other criminals. And all of these people is Elia, which worked with Moff Gideon and with the Empire. And going to this socialization program, they built like a connection with each other, with her rising his confidence, so he can by all means develop his new technology. They said it's prohibited, so she kind of inflicts him to go to that abandoned ship that stays in a graveyard. And just for people to understand, like, this graveyard needs to be like the housing crisis is gonna be because of that, because I don't know a neighborhood, because the ship is humongous, and as she's staying there, it takes a lot of space. So you can practically say that the housing market of Coruscant is affected by the way that those huge spaceships occupy. And this scene actually remembers me from the Jedi Fallen Order, where Cal Kestis, he actually works in a graveyard planet where those ships are, and I think it's a kind of a reference to the planet, if you're not playing the game, played. Okay, through all of that, they reach out to the point where the technology is, so they can grab it and run away, and the guards just start to arrive, and they rush to guard the ship. But as they go out of the ship, the guards are arriving, they are telling them to release those items, and the surprise of the episode, at least, that gave us a little bit of a taste of, okay, that's amazing, was the fact that Elia was actually a traitor. She was working with the guards. I don't know if that was a part of her program, but I guess she was earning some points by telling people from the New Republic, like, hey, this person's doing something strange, that they shouldn't do it. At the end of the episode, you're like, okay, maybe she's doing some right thing, like she's doing something to redeem herself or something, and she's gonna be sad because, no, I gave away my friend, but I needed to do that because I needed something, and now they are using him a kind of a machinery that erases his memory, but parts of this memory, you know, like they can raise the capacity of this machine, like you can erase more memories. I don't know how that works. And as they're using the machine on him, one of the guards leave the room, so she uses the machine and puts it in his maximum capacity, looking like she's gonna fry his brain. Like if he was gonna forget like his name or what was he doing, now he's gonna become a vegetable. Like he's gonna forget how to walk, how to eat, how to talk. Like I want to see how he's gonna be in the next episode. He's gonna be like a freaking vegetable. But because of that, what she did, the theories go through the air, like, who is she working with? Well, she's probably working with Gideon, even though he's still in jail. Theoretically, he has an influence of the leftovers of the Empire. He's very persuasive, he has a lot of political power, so he is probably using his puppets to take people out of the game. Like for him, the Doctor wasn't nothing anymore, so he needed to be discarded somehow. And to some people that said that this episode was boring, I understand you, like in the middle it was kind of slow and has a vibe of Andor. I like the show, but it's like slow for a big part of the show. He kind of feels disconnected with Mandalorian maybe, besides the fact that this Doctor was part of the series, but they are building up something for the main plot probably. The plot with Mandu, with all the Mandalorians trying to come back to Mandalore, and Elia working probably with the remainings of the Empire to erase the Doctor's memory and do some plan that they are trying to do. These two are gonna converge in something probably that actually makes some sense. What's their plan with Mandalorian? Because the Empire kind of rules again 20 years later. Yeah, but they have some remaining still before becoming actually the First Order. And this show, it's full of action. Like the other ones, like this show is having some of the greatest visual effects I have ever seen in TV show since Game of Thrones probably, and they probably don't have the same budget because Game of Thrones has like a big movie budget. This one's like has a huge budget, but the difference is that Game of Thrones worked most of the times with real places, like they go to a forest raining or snowy, and they can record some things there and put some effects after. This show has literally almost the places that they're going. It's some place that doesn't exist, with a very fantastic environment throughout the whole place. There's not a single environment there that is realistic. Like it's on Earth, it's somewhere else. Like they record besides desert, there's always some castles, some ships, some crazy ass cars that fly, some buildings, and all of that with the breathtaking photography that they have is making this show amazing. And of course the plot twist that they have throughout the show makes us want to watch this thing over and over and over again. And this method of releasing an episode per week, for me it's the best. It is what makes my life bearable. And this show, it's simply fantastic. I love Star Wars, and this show, it's making me remember how Star Wars is amazing and people are liking this thing again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. So goodbye and peace.